For most of your college applications, the essay prompts you'll encounter are going to be pretty straightforward. They'll ask you things like why you want to attend that school, why you want to study the major you're applying for, what kinds of communities you're a part of, and things of that nature. But some schools have really weird and quirky essay prompts. Stanford, and especially UChicago, are notorious for this. These schools are trying to be quirky and show that they're not like other girls. These essay prompts seem kind of random, especially considering the rest of the application and how serious all of the other prompts are, while these prompts are all silly and weird. But really, these essays are trying to get out what kind of person you are and see what makes you tick. Because by giving you such subjective essay prompts that come completely out of left field, it forces you to be creative and think differently and really show what kind of person you are. They can be used to reveal your personality, your way of thinking, and even your sense of humor. These essay prompts are usually a lot shorter in terms of their word count, which means that the resulting essays are a lot more fun and memorable. And with that being said, to help you guys get the creative juices going and spark some inspiration, let's take a look at some of my own essays that you guys can use as reference. What is the most significant challenge that society faces today? 50 words. Disunity among countries prevents progress on international problems. To solve issues like climate change, we must cooperate. Unfortunately, us versus them tribalist ideology persists. Countries only attend to their own economic needs and interests first. Promoting intercultural exchange will help countries understand and work with one another to help the world prosper. What historical moment or event do you wish you could have witnessed? 50 words. I wish I could have seen national hero Jose Rizal write Noli Me Tangere, watching as the passion in his pen gave birth to a nation. His novel defined what it means to be Filipino. Devoted, grateful, resilient. His words united Filipinos in the fight for independence under a common flag. What 5 words best describe you? 5 words. Industrious, resourceful, intentional, sarcastic, sleep-deprived. When the choice is yours, what do you read, listen to, or watch? 50 words. Read Webtoon, sometimes in Korean, Shonen Jump, National Geographic, Next Shark, The New York Times. Listen Hyuko, Kim Soo-young, Blackpink, Radwimps, Almost, Hardcore History, Philosophize This, Stuff You Missed in History Class. Watch Crash Course, TED Ed, Black Mirror, Gukje Shijang, A Silent Voice, A Place Further Than the Universe, The Boston Celtics. Imagine you had an extra hour in the day. How would you spend that time? 50 words. Some months ago, I bought a copy of Comparative Grammar of Spanish, Portuguese, Italian, and French. It's been sitting on my bookshelf ever since I bought it. I'd love to finally finish this book and devote time to learning new languages other than the 5 minutes on Duolingo before bed. In these essays, as usual, you want to do your best to avoid being cringe, because even though these prompts do give a lot more room for freedom of creativity and places for you to include your humor and other parts of your personality, you don't want to come off as cringe by giving some sort of weird response that is very, very out there and to the point where it's not really so much unique as it is just weird. So please try not to be cringe, because that's not going to do you any favors. You should also do your best to avoid sounding super hyper intellectual and giving responses that you think sound smart and cool and make yourself look good, because really they just make you look like a nerd. Instead, you should give answers that come from deep down inside of you and really get at who you are as a person, because I'm sure you all have really unique and interesting personalities, so let them see that. Don't try to be someone you're not, this super hyper intellectual nerd, but instead show who you are, this smart, interesting, funny, cool person that is not a nerd. Or at least not as much of a nerd as this person. These essays are a really good opportunity for you to show your personality, because they allow you to be more creative than other essay prompts may. So if you're a funny person, you should try and show your humor in this essay and be that funny person you are. But if you're not a funny person, don't try to be a funny person in this essay, because chances are, if you're not already funny, your resulting essay may probably also not be that funny. So don't try to force a joke in there just for the sake of it. And don't be afraid to be raw in these essays. Since the word limit is so short, you don't have a lot of space to think really hard and come up with a super well-crafted response. You can just speak from the heart and just give whatever answer comes to mind. Overall, when you're considering your application as a whole, you want to make sure that your essays relate to the other parts of your application. Throughout your application, you want to build a cohesive narrative that does a good job of showing your personal themes. So for these essays, you should try to think outside of the box in terms of the content and structure and format, but you should also make sure that these essays can do a good job of connecting to the other parts of your application. Because whoever's reading your application isn't going to look at each individual essay in isolation. They're going to look at them all together as part of your entire application to see who you are as a person and what you may be able to contribute to their university. So for these quirky essay prompts, you should try to be equally as quirky, but you should also show that there is some method in the madness. This has been my advice for how to approach those quirky essay prompts. So for all of you who are currently applying to colleges, I wish you the best of luck. If you're looking for specific advice on how to improve your Common App essay, check out this video here, or feel free to check out any of the other videos I have on my channel related to how to approach the different kinds of supplemental essays.